I've been looking forward to doing this. Hello everyone, this is Quiversee and welcome to Pikmin! Pikmin, the hybrid puzzle strategy game that came out on the GameCube so many years ago. I don't need the demo. This has been an interesting series overall to follow, like, good lord. The copyright year. This thing came out in 2001 initially. How is it that this game is 21 years old and only has 3 mainline titles? Not counting the 3DS spin-off or the recent mobile app. I don't know. But this is a classic for a reason, and there's a reason why people are clamoring for more of it. Now, I should clarify that this game did originally come out on the GameCube, but I'm actually playing the Wii version, which means this is also the first time I am trying to record a game using motion control, so we'll see how that goes, because my setup makes it a little bit unorthodox. But we'll worry about that when we get there. For now, let's just start the game. It has been years since I played this, but I still remember a lot about what it's like. Yeah, there's my original old file. And I'll just start on ship log number 2, I guess. Welcome to space. And as our intrepid space captain explores its depths, for reasons unknown, a stray asteroid strikes him in the side and sends him plummeting to an unknown world. As he descends through the atmosphere, fragments of his ship fall apart in a blazing storm of fire. And now we awaken at the impact site. And he's fine, just a little dizzy. Say hello to Captain Olimar, our intrepid little elf captain.
My name is Captain Olimar. While traveling through space, my ship was struck by a meteor. I must have blacked out and I awoke on the surface of a weird planet. With so many parts lost, the skeletal hull of my beloved dolphin is a painful sight. The engine is gone. I'm stranded. To make matters worse, my atmospheric sensors indicate this planet's environment contains high levels of poisonous oxygen. My life support systems can function for only 30 days. If I can't repair the dolphin by then... No, better not think about it. I must find the missing ship parts.
So yeah, we have ourselves a hard time limit, which was something that was more or less eradicated in later games of the series, and is kind of a point of contention with this version of the game specifically. Like, some people love it, some people hate it. Personally, I like it because it kind of gives this version its own unique bit of charm. Right now, I don't seem to have much in the way of controls. I can use B to whistle. Right now, that doesn't really do much. I can use A to just kind of bat things around. And yeah, my pointer is that big purple cursor there. So I'm kind of trying to get a feel for the motion. I think I've actually got a decently working setup. Also, fun fact for those who don't know, the name of Olimar's ship, the Dolphin, if I'm not mistaken, and I'll double check this to make sure, the Dolphin was named after... How would I word this? Like, when the GameCube was in development, it was, like, codenamed Project Dolphin, I'm pretty sure, which is also why the Dolphin emulator is named that. And that's why they named the Dolphin ship that, because Pikmin was one of the earlier titles for the GameCube console. Just a fun little tidbit. Anyways, gonna explore around. I can't seem to control the there we go. I was trying to control the camera. I have to use Z and the pointer. I can't zoom or anything, though, which is really unfortunate. Ah, that's what I was looking for. this strange bulb that has now hopped out of the ground and sprouted legs.
A strange thing has appeared before me. I had barely begun my search when it reared up as if it were waiting for me. It then dropped a single seed. What is it? Is it alive? Is it a machine? It resembles a vegetable on my home planet that we call an onion. I shall call this an onion too.
Now I have control of the zoom using the D-pad. Good. So yeah, this device here, Olimar here calls it an onion. And the onion sprouted this little seed.
The seed that the onion dropped took root in the soil and has now produced an adorable little sprout. The sprout emits a strange light and it sways back and forth without benefit of wind. I cannot help but think it is calling to me. I am compelled. I must approach it and press A.
Woo! And we get ourselves a little red vegetable man!
Extraordinary! When I plucked the sprout, it turned out to be a living creature, not a plant. Picking it has done no visible damage. It just stands there, staring at me. Its shape is similar to the Pick brand carrots I love so much. I believe I shall call it a Pikmin. Here I am, stranded on a toxic planet fighting to survive, and yet I'm intrigued. I must research this fascinating creature. I shall try to grab it with A and throw it in the direction I point. And I will then call it to my side with B. Perhaps it will react to C and pressing down on the pad while pointing as well. The following controls appear to allow me several viewpoints.
Okay, and here's where I get the camera controls.
I must survive. I need to familiarize myself with these controls and my surroundings.
So, yeah, we can, like I said, we can zoom. I can use Z to... Whoa, okay, that's dizzying. And then I use C... Liar! So the C button did this, which you can see now that our... There we go. Our little Pikmin friend kind of went pale. But if I walk up to him, he turns dark and he follows me. But when he's dismissed, he won't. And what the B button will do... Boom.
What does this Pikmin think of me? I must observe its reactions. The more things I try, the more reactions I can catalog. I shall attempt to grab and throw it with A and call it to my side with B.
Oh, okay, I misinterpreted. I thought that it wanted me to hold C and down on the pad while pointing. Okay, I think I misunderstood it. Ah! I was wondering which control did this. I couldn't remember. This is what holding down on the control pad does. And you can see that everywhere I point, little guy's following. Not that useful of a talent right now, but later on that will be essential. And as he said, the A button can be used to throw him. So if I chuck him at this flower... Observe. As he carries the flower's remains, a single pellet, to the onion. Kaboom! 2 more seeds.
Astonishing! The onion has sown more seeds! The small red pellet the Pikmin harvested after cutting down a flower appears to be some type of food that can propagate more Pikmin. The onion seems to be a sort of incubator. Needless to say, I must study this strange life form more.
You know, something else just kind of occurred to me that's a little strange. Olimar, when we landed here, mentioned that the poisonous gases on this planet was oxygen. So, either it's because there's just too much oxygen on the planet, so it is toxic, or his planet, his people don't use oxygen. But he has onions and carrots. Or, I don't know, because the onion actually, okay, the Pikmin don't really look like carrots if you ask me, but the onion definitely is shaped like a real world onion in a lot of ways. I don't know, it just makes me wonder. Anyways, you can see there's a little something way over there, off in the distance, but I'll worry about that later. You can also take a look here at the numbers that the Pikmin have carrying over them. That number up top is how many things Pikmin are required to move the thing. That number down below is how many are actually carrying it. In that case, I add 2. And having more than what is required speeds up the process. Over here, you can see we've got ourselves a 5 pellet. So I'm just gonna chuck all 5 of the dudes I've got to grab that. Suppose I should also take a moment to mention what the stuff down below here is. So we got ourselves 3 numbers down here. This first number is how many Pikmin we have in our party. So following us around, right now we have 2. This 7 over here represents how many we have in the world altogether. And the final number is how many we have total, which is why it goes up to 4 digits instead of just 3. Can I just walk up this? I can. Up. And yeah, the one issue that happens with Pikmin sometimes, you saw there, I still had 2 in my party and I was running all the way up here, but these 2 clowns were really confused and stuck on that tree root. The Pikmin AI is extremely basic, and it can be incredibly frustrating at times. But honestly, I would be lying if I said I would want it to be different. If anything, I wouldn't have it any other way. Like, think about it. We're literally just plucking tiny little vegetable men fresh out of the ground. I don't think they're gonna be that smart. Considering especially the fact that we are just, we're literally an alien invader, and they are just doing whatever we say without question or anything. They're not intelligent creatures is the point I'm trying to make, and it makes sense that their AI would be similarly simple. Anyways, we got ourselves a nice squad of 14 here, and a box with a 10 on it. Looks like not all of them decided to push. We got 2 lazy boys in our group. But now, we have ourselves a box bridge.
The Pikmin are as curious as children. They form groups to perform tasks that would be impossible for an individual. A glimmer of hope has begun to shine in my heart. If I can make use of their skills, perhaps I can fix my ship. I shall sum up all I've learned of Pikmin conduct. Approach and press A to pick sprouts. Press A to grab Pikmin, release to throw. Press B to call them, C to dismiss. Press down on the D-pad and point the command to control the group. Press Z and up and left and right on the control pad to control perspective. Whew, I shall record this on my computer and access it with plus.
Pretty simple, and that's pretty much the gist of our controls. I'm actually going to ignore that very obvious MacGuffin, because I want pellets. And I should clarify, one reason I'm doing this is because there's one other aspect to this that hasn't been fully revealed to us yet, that being the fact that in addition to a day limit, there is also a time limit every single day. Every single day, that is, except the first day. Today is the only day you have all the time in the world to do everything you could want. So I might as well make certain to get all the Pikmin I can on this day. Unfortunately, that barrier that we saw up that way, this rock wall here, can't do anything about that right now. The Pikmin will not be able to break through. So once I get these pellets and get that metal monstrosity way over there, we'll be done.
When many Pikmin seeds sprout at once, I find it rather tedious to pluck them from the ground individually. My wife always told me I was no good at routine tasks. I guess I'll try to get it all done at once by repeatedly tapping A until I pick all the Pikmin from the ground. I've noticed that when I add Pikmin to my group, they become filled with excitement and flushed with bright color. At other times, they revert to a paler hue and give off a dim glow. Paying close attention to these differences is bound to help me distinguish between Pikmin.
Right, so like I mentioned before when we were first learning about it, it's basically a difference between active, for the ones in our group, and idle, for ones that are just kind of chilling on their own and not doing anything. Wait for them all to grow. There we go. And pluck away! There we go. Let's get the whole family up! There we go, there we go! Alright, 25 out of 25. Let's go, my miniature army. Let us procure our first ship part.
Amazing! There's no mistaking it! My ship's engine rests before my very eyes! By a stroke of pure luck, I have already stumbled upon the most important piece of my damaged craft. Fate has smiled upon me, but how will I get it back to the dolphin?
As if you need to ask, Olimar. Pikmin, fetch! Just enough. Well, with 5 to spare. So in reality, we kind of needed almost every single pellet here regardless. I think we could have skipped out on like 1 or 2 of the 1 pellets, but again, no point in that. So yeah, in addition to taking pellets and other foodstuffs back to the Onion to propagate, they also know to take ship pieces back to our ship. How do they know that's where to take it, though? I think that's a valid question that has not been properly addressed. Well, it's convenient for Olimar, that's for darn sure. And the best part is, they're happy about it. Look at them dance. And now with the engine intact, the ship magically repairs a small piece of its paneling.
Oh, glorious! With the help of these Pikmin, I've taken a huge step back towards home. My ship can once again lift off. The glimmer of hope is beginning to burn more brightly. But what has become of the remaining parts? That search starts tomorrow.
And thus we end the day. All of our little Pikmin buddies return to their Onion at the end of the night. Olimar returns to his ship, to which he literally just gets beamed in. And we blast off into low orbit. Along with our Onion friend.
One day since impact, I've somehow managed to launch the dolphin, but I was surprised to see the Onion lift off with me. Perhaps the Pikmin cannot survive overnight on the planet's surface, or have they merely decided to join me for other reasons? Either way, it seems they'll help me again tomorrow.
Personally, I feel like it's the latter in this case, because it was dormant before we got there. Clearly the Onion can go into some sort of like sleep mode to where it would, I guess, hide from predators.
The dolphin is missing 29 parts. If I can't recover them all, I may never return home to my family on planet Hokotate. Analysis shows life support systems will function for only 29 more days. How can I repair my dolphin in such a short time? A dense forest is visible on the surface below. As it holds the keys to my survival, I'll name it the Forest of Hope. I'll explore it tomorrow.
And then after our captain's log, we get ourselves a little daily summary of how the day went. Seeing how many Pikmin were sprouted, how many were lost in battle, how many were abandoned at the end of the night. So that'll become relevant later, obviously. And we have 29 parts and 29 days to get them all. Pretty self-explanatory. But that's gonna do it for this part. So now that we have managed to get the engine, we will begin exploring the Forest of Hope next time on Pikmin. Thank y'all so much for watching. Goodbye.